Hope everyone is doing good. In this session, we are going to be talking about listening once again, but we are not going to solve any kind of question paper for now. We are just going to talk about some accents, right? So, in IELTS exam, you will get three kinds of accent. So, the first one is definitely American. The second one is going to be a British accent, and the third one is Australian. So, in your IELTS test, basically, when you are doing your listening, you can get any out of these three, right? And you need to be able to identify these accents. I mean, not that there would be any questions based on it, but mostly because people say one single thing in different ways, in different accents, and it can sound completely different, right? So, with that being said, let us review what we have to do today, right? And there it is. Yep. So, we will try to focus on and recognize different accents in English, right? We will practice listening to audio clips. I have already um, like taken it out on YouTube, right? So it should not be that much of a hassle. We will develop strategies to identify key information despite the accent variations. And we will practice answering different IELTS questions based on, recordings or maybe if we find something in future. So moving forward, why different accents matter in the first place? You might hear again different speakers. Your listening audios can be different. You can have British, American, Australian, and other sorts of accents in your IELTS. It is important to be familiar with these accents because you might misunderstand if you don't know what this accent is. You should have your ears should be, I would say, your ears should be used to listening to different accents, right? There are other English accents as well. We have Indian English accent, we have Scottish English, we have Irish English, we have probably French people speaking in English, Italian speaking in English. So there are a variety of accents, but these are the most common ones, right? Because these are English speaking countries. So then I would suggest listening to a variety of accents. That would really help with you understanding comprehensions. There are certain sounds that you need to be really focused on, right? And we will see how all of that works. So, strategies for understanding accents, right? What are the different strategies so that we can understand accents? We need to listen to a variety of audios, right? So we need to practice with podcast. We can see particular news report or news channels, right? For example, BBC is great for UK news, right? And UK accent. Um, and then we can just go ahead and listen to, let's say, an American news channel or a local Australian news channel, right? Just for the sake of it. Even if you're not interested in news, they would have some sort of program or podcast going on. Or nowadays, even if you listen to some particular YouTuber and you know that they are from a particular place or country, you can listen to them as well. Focus on how they're pronouncing, right? Focus on like how they're pronouncing vowels, how they're pronouncing consonants, and try to understand them. Often focus on context clues as well, right? I would suggest for beginning, just focus on what they're speaking, try to comprehend it, and probably try to speak it as well yourself. Maybe you can try and mimic it if you want to focus on pronunciation. But if you want to focus on comprehension, I would really suggest you try to solve questions based on it, right? And again, I would suggest stay calm. Even if you are not able to comprehend something based on the accent, I would suggest staying calm. That is the thing that helps the most. um, Focus on the ideas, focus on a general comprehension, if that helps in the end, right? So if you have not practiced enough, the chances are that you might not be able to identify the information. But again, um, rather than identifying information, I would say if you are not that confident, focus on understanding the whole idea and then giving your best guess. So key differences are that British accent, they have some different pronunciation. R is usually dropped at the end of the word, right? So for example, if you have car, it would sound like kah, right? American accent usually have really rolled out sounds, right? It would be car, right? And they have like a very rolled out R's. Australian accents are broader, right? And they always have some sort of slang. So it is hard to mimic an Australian accent. But when it comes to British and American accent, you can really figure out it's like pretty similar. I'm so sorry, it's pretty distinct. And you can really figure out, which is British accent, which is American accent. Australian accent is a little tough, but it's very close to British accent. But again, it has like its distinctiveness, I would say. Then I would just say that we will listen to some British accents, we will listen to some American accents and Australian accents, right? I will share my screen in this case. And here we go to YouTube. And this one is, first of all, an American accent. So we'll focus on American accent for now.
This way, please. This way, please.
This way, please.
This way, please. I promise. I promise.
I promise.
I promise. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
I'm very proud of you.
I'm very proud of you. Any news? Any news?
Any news?
Any news? The flowers are opening. The flowers are opening.
The flowers are opening.
The flowers are opening. How did you sleep? How did you sleep?
How did you sleep?
How did you sleep? Go.
So I would suggest that this one was your American accent. We have British accent as well. So we will now focus on that. There we go. It is a speech by Emma Watson, right? And it is, again, British accent. We'll probably not listen to the whole speech, right? Just a part of it.
I was appointed 6 months ago, and the more I've spoken about feminism, the more I have realized that fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating. If there is one thing I know for certain, it is that this has to stop. For the record, feminism, by definition, is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities. It is the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. I started questioning gender-based assumptions a long time ago. When I was 8, I was confused being called bossy, because I wanted to direct the plays that we would put on for our parents, but the boys were not. When at 14, I started to be sexualized by certain elements of the media. When at 15, my girlfriends started dropping out of their beloved sports teams because they didn't want to appear muscly. When at 18, my male friends were unable to express their feelings. I decided that I was a feminist, and this seemed uncomplicated to me. But my recent research has shown me that feminism has become an unpopular word. Women are choosing not to identify as feminist. Apparently, I am among the ranks of women whose expressions are seen as too strong.
Okay, just so you can identify that there are some differences when it comes to, I would suggest, from American to Australian, to British accents, right? There are some words that are very different, and that is probably the differences. I mean, you just have to notice how the accents are different. Now, just moving immediately to Australian accent to notice the difference again.
In today's global economy, the English language has become the lingua franca of business. English is spoken by more than 1.5 billion people worldwide, which makes it the most spoken language in the world. This means that it has become essential for individuals and companies to have a good command of English in order to succeed in the business world. One of the reasons why English is so important in business is that it is the language of international trade. Whether it's negotiating deals with foreign suppliers or selling products to customers abroad, being able to communicate effectively in English is critical. In fact, many multinational corporations require their employees to be fluent in English as a condition of employment. Another reason why English is important in business is that it is the language of technology. With the rise of the internet and digital communication, English has become the dominant language of the tech industry. Companies that operate in this space often have a global customer base, and being able to communicate with them in English is crucial for success. Moreover, English is the language of international travel. In the business world, it is common for professionals to travel to different countries to attend conferences, meetings, and trade shows. Being able to communicate in English with people from different parts of the world is essential for building relationships and expanding one's network. In conclusion, the importance of the English language in business cannot be overstated. It has become the language of international trade, technology, and travel. For individuals and companies looking to succeed in the global marketplace, having a strong command of English is essential. This is why many language schools and businesses offer English language courses and training programs to help individuals improve their English skills and succeed in their careers.
All right. So this we listen to the complete thing. The only reason is that Australian accents are a little bit, I would say, not always there, right? We have a little less opportunity of listening to Australian accents. They're not that, I mean, they are popular, but they're not as popular as the British and the American accent. But it's there, and it's not that it's not there in the IELTS. So IELTS can have any one of it, right? But overall, I would say that these are three kinds of accents. Try to listen to such audios. Try to see if you are able to identify what is the information that has been spoken. And that's pretty much it. Again, you need to understand the accents, but you do not have to focus too much to the sense that you're not focusing on, the context as a whole, right? Because in the end, you need to find the answers, right? So missing key information, I would say, if you feel that there is a word that you missed, again, try to understand it through context and do not overthink about accents or anything like that in general. So today, basically, we looked at three different accents: your British accent, American accent, and Australian accent. I would suggest going through news, podcast, listen to people who are famous, listen to speeches that are there by different people, right? And try to understand these accents. Although again, there is no direct question related to it, but I really feel that, this would definitely make a difference when it comes to your understanding, and it would just make you feel at ease. Your ears would basically be, they would have heard these accents, and it would be more comfortable for you to understand stuff. So that's pretty much it for today. And I hope you will be also understanding and going through some accents. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next listening class with probably some more activities, hopefully different sorts of accents, and so that we have a hands on experience on that. So see you for the next time.